Your live interactive Weather Authority coverage will begin shortly. Your live interactive Weather Authority coverage will begin shortly. Your live Weather Authority coverage starts right now.
Hello everybody, I hope you guys are all having a good one. Hopefully you do not have to get out on these roads today. We have a little bit of a mess out there right now, and we are going to see the snow, sleet, freezing rain all continue over the next couple hours before eventually, if you're down towards the immediate coastline, probably get into a period of just plain rain during the afternoon, early evening hours. But yeah, it's a mess out there, and it's going to stay a mess as we head through this evening and tonight. Send me those reports. I'd love to know what you guys have. If you do have reports for me snowfall-wise, I would love to hear them. Just give me your town and the time that you took them so that I could accurately, of course, take and record those measurements. Now, we are going to see, again, this snow continue, but if you are looking at some sleet, you're probably right near the coastline. If you're down towards southern York County, you for sure are looking at either a mixture of sleet, freezing rain, or rain right now. Some sort of wintry mix, as that is going to continue. Now, let me pull up the graphics here, and you can see that we do have time-lapse from Naples this morning, so let's take a look at it. Yeah, not the best of mornings. You can see the plows were out throughout the morning hours, and then the snow just continued. It's going to continue up towards the Naples area for a while as well, as the snow is still falling across much of the state. We are going to see, again, a bit of a transition over to some wintry mix pretty soon, but the headlight right now still looks like it is snowing, probably a little bit of fog mixed in here as well. But the temperatures are generally below the freezing mark for most areas right now. And again, I do think that will continue over the next hour or so. Up towards Sunday River, they are getting smoked right now, and they're going to continue to get hit pretty hard. Up towards the north, areas in the mountains are just going to get absolutely pummeled with snow. And that, there's going to be some reports of 20 inches up towards the north as we head through this afternoon through tonight. And that will, again, continue through the nighttime, probably ending, I would say most areas see this come to an end between about 11 p.m. to 2 o'clock in the morning for most of the state. Here's the satellite and radar right now. And you know, the tough thing is right here in the southern part of the state, sometimes the radar just has a hard time determining because you have a beam that pretty much just continuously goes around and collects this data of what it sees, what's falling in that radar beam at any given time. And sometimes these radar beams have a little bit of trouble picking up exactly what type of precip is falling in what areas. This area in particular right now, you guys are probably sleet, even though right now on radar it's showing mainly snow. I think most of these areas, actually, is the graphic working right now? Hold on one second. It looks like we're having some problems with the graphic. What are you guys, when I pull up this, you guys see Naples, correct? I'm showing the radar, but we're not. Hold on. We're having some problems here. Anyways, send me those. Yeah, send me those reports if you can. And again, we are going to see. I'm just having a little bit of a tough time figuring out exactly why the graphic isn't changing, because on my screen I'm looking at the radar right now. So we are going to try and figure this out. Just bear with me for a second. But yeah, let me know what you guys are seeing. And we're going to hold on one second. Just bear with me. Sorry about this. Hold on. What I might have to do, I hope you guys would be able to tune back in. What I might have to do is I might have to try and restart this whole thing, or I could actually pull up my. All right, so this is what we're gonna do here. It's gonna be a smaller screen, and I apologize for that. Again, we are having some problems with this, but I wanted to show you guys these graphics. So it's a little bit of a smaller screen. Again, I apologize. This is Sunday River right now. And again, look at this. I mean, you can barely see anything, and it is absolutely snowing very hard out there right now. All right, and now we're going to take a look at the radar, and you can see that we have snow for most areas. This is what I was talking about. I didn't even realize on the screen that it was showing Naples Skycam, yet here I'm talking about the radar. So again, I apologize. It's a little bit of a smaller screen. I'm going to be doing some more of these during the afternoon. I'll try and fix it during the afternoon. So what I was talking about is in the southern part of the state, where you can see right here, you see snow on radar. However, right now, they're probably looking at sleet in most of these areas. If you are in the southern part of York County, you're likely looking at sleet right now, and especially if you're down towards the coastline. That is going to continue as we head through the next several hours. And the reason why I know this is because we actually have a separate radar that we can look at. Now, this radar is very, very tricky to look at if you really don't exactly understand what's going on. So I'm going to explain it here, and we're going to zoom in right towards York County right now. And you see all these different colors, right? Well, what's going on here is where you see these different colors, the, lighter colors right here in these areas, you can see where the sleet is falling. So sleet is falling right here where you see those different colors, the lighter colors right there. So if I'm looking at this, I'm taking this radar and saying that the sleet line is probably somewhere like this right now. And it's probably going up the coastline like that as well. So I think anywhere south of this line that you see, you're probably looking at a little bit of a wintry mix with some snow as well. And we are going to see this line continue to move north as we head through the next couple hours. Portland, right now, you're probably in a situation, if you're downtown, you are looking at sleet at the moment. You head up towards Falmouth, you head up 2-3 miles inland, you head to areas like Westbrook or Gorham, it's probably snow at the moment. So this is the changeable part of the forecast over the next couple hours when we are going to see these rain-snow lines move north. Things are going to start to change to sleet, eventually to some freezing rain, and we are going to see this transition can occur over the next couple hours. So if you're in the southern part of the state, that's what you are looking at right now. But if you're up towards the north, I mean, it is snowing very hard up towards areas like Sugarloaf and Sunday River right now. And that is going to continue where you see those darker colored blues. That's where we have some of the heavier snow bands at the moment. So we have winter storm warnings up in the pink, pretty much everybody at the moment. The areas that do not have the winter storm warnings is winter weather advisory in York County. That is because, well, they've already transitioned over to some sleet, a little bit of freezing rain, and things will eventually change to just plain rain, especially if you are in southern York County now, if it hasn't already, through the next hour or two. And then by the time we get to this afternoon, it's just plain rain, and then we will see another transition back to some wintry weather. And I'm going to time that out coming up in just a second. But the numbers all throughout the area, notice one thing. Generally below the freezing mark. And then look at Portsmouth, 36 degrees right now. If you're 36 degrees, you're probably already looking at just plain rain. So I do think these milder temperatures will eventually migrate north. Portland will probably get above the freezing mark. I would say probably about 2 o'clock. That would be the time frame that I would point out for the afternoon in Portland. If you're in downtown, I was actually looking at some of the temperatures downtown versus where Falmouth is. And, on the north side of Portland, it's 27 or 28 degrees. Head down towards South Portland, right at the line, say over towards areas in downtown, it's already 31 or 32 in some spots, and it looks like it's 29 at the Jetport. So the numbers are all over the place. We are going to see this transition continue. The one good thing is we don't have much wind with this. The winds are generally on the light side for a storm like this. You get storms like this, you think, oh boy, we're going to see wind gusts pretty strong. It's not the case today. We have very light winds in terms of what we normally would see with these snowstorms and stuff. So this is some good news. A little bit of a breeze out there, but that's really not the forecast today. We are going to see snow continue even in the Portland area, probably through the next hour or so. Then the wintry mix moves in. We'll see a transition over to plain rain during the afternoon. And then also the evening hours is when we are going to see the freezing rain move in. Here is the future radar, so to speak. By 2 o'clock, you notice that a couple things I want to point out. The immediate coastline is plain rain, and this is going to continue. Areas like, Rockland will start to transition over to just plain rain. And then by the time we head to the afternoon, you're going to notice that we will see this rain snow line move to the north, and areas just inland. If you're in Westbrook, if you're in Falmouth, you're probably looking at a mix through 2, even 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I do think you will transition over to a little bit of rain during the late afternoon, early evening. And then you'll notice by the evening hours, at this point, we are still looking at some light plain rain in the southern part of the state. And then you can see areas like Augusta and Lewiston, you guys are still looking at freezing rain and sleet. Areas like that are going to get hit pretty good as we head through the afternoon and evening with this freezing rain and sleet. And then up towards the north, the mountains, they are just going to continue to get pummeled with snow. Some areas going to see 10 to 20 inches of snow. Just unbelievable how much snow some places up towards the far north will see. Then we get to the backside of the storm. What happens is on the backside, you get cooler air starting to work in from the north. And that's what's going to happen. And as we change over to sleet and freezing rain, we're also going to see some snow on the backside of this storm as well as some of this colder air starts to move in. So if you are in Portland, if you are in areas along the coastline, you guys are probably going to change over to freezing rain, I would say after 8, 9 o'clock, and we will see this continue through probably about 11, 12 o'clock, and then we are going to see this wind down. And then you can see midnight, we're actually looking at some light snow in some areas before it eventually winds up and then moves out. And the sunshine returns at times for the day on Sunday. No changes to the forecast. Again, if you're just tuning in, I had some difficulties for the people who stuck with me. Thank you. I had some technical difficulties, so to speak, where that's why we have the smaller screen up right now. But bear with me, and I'm going to be doing more of these as we head through the afternoon and evening. I'm going to try and fix it up. So this is what we're looking at for ice accumulation. The ice has not really started across the state. That will start over the next couple hours, and then we are going to see it continue through the evening and nighttime. But most of this ice is going to fall over the next, I would say now through the end of the storm. And we're going to see upwards of a quarter to I don't know if we get to a half an inch. I think that's probably too much, but I do think there will be some areas that will see 2/10, 3/10 of an inch of ice as we head through this afternoon and evening. So this is something to keep in mind. One of the things that I would recommend is if you don't have to go anywhere today or tomorrow, just let the ice fall on top of the snow. That is probably the biggest advice I could give you, because you get so much snow, you clear it, but then it gets freezing rain on your driveway. That's not good news either, and that's a lot harder to get up. So I would just leave the snow for now if you can, because freezing rain is on its way, and it is going to move in as we head through this afternoon and evening. Snowfall-wise, again, have not made any changes. We have the plus up there. Most areas up towards the mountains, 12 to 18 inches of snow. Still, that's a lot of snow, but there are going to be some isolated communities that get 20 inches of snow. I can almost assure that will happen. There will be 20-inch amounts up towards maybe areas like Rangeley or Jackman, especially some of the mountains like Sugarloaf and Sunday River. Some of those places are just going to get absolutely pummeled. There's going to be a 20-plus inch report. Head south of that, Freiburg 8 to 12. The Lewiston, Augusta area, you guys are in the 5 to 9 inch range. Portland, I was actually just outside not too long ago. I would say 11:30, so about 45 minutes ago, and I recorded around 4.5 inches. I mean, we're on the north side of Portland, so we're a little away from the coast. If you're in downtown, you might not have 4.5, but I do think that the Jetport was saying right around 4 inches or so pretty recently as well. Portsmouth, you're already changed over. You're either sleet or freezing rain right now. And again, this will continue. Now, I want to go through some of your guys' comments and just talk to you guys for a little bit. And let's do that. So, Debbie, good afternoon to you. I hope you are enjoying this storm. What do you guys think about this storm? Are you excited about it? Are you mad about it? What are your thoughts? I'm kind of curious. Earl, hello to you from Cherryfield, Maine. And then the Lewiston area, Joan, we are going to continue with the snow for the next several hours, and I do think you will probably transition to some sleet. You might even you'll get some freezing rain as well. I would say the transition for the Lewiston area probably happens, I would say, 3-4 o'clock, and then you might change for 4 or 5 hours before transitioning back over to some snow on the backside of this storm. But then not too far north of Lewiston, it's going to be pretty much all snow. But I do think the Lewiston area will get a little bit of freezing rain and sleet. I'm getting some of these comments about when I was having a tough time with this. You guys know how technology works sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't. And that's what happened. All right, so Greg, sleet and snow in Arundel. Yes, you guys are already starting to change on over. Snow just started, according to Lori, up towards northern Maine. Yeah, so you guys up towards northern Maine, I mean, the snow started much, much later, of course, because they're so far north as compared to areas like Portland. We had most of the snow in the southern part of the state start overnight, 2-3 o'clock in the morning. But up towards the north, it's, you guys are going to get, up towards Caribou, places like that, you might see 20-25 inches of snow in some spots. But you guys probably don't have much at the moment because it didn't start too long ago. And what else we got? Nancy, hello to you. Snowing in Gardner. Suzanne, snowing in Lisbon. Susan, snowing in Gorham. Yeah, a lot of places still looking at snow right now. Haley, having a tough time driving. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are having a tough time driving right now. All right, what else do we have? Patty, snowing in the small town of Washington. Yes, so you guys get the idea here. A lot of places still looking at snow, and that was actually the forecast, to have the snow through the morning and into the early afternoon. But if you are in Portsmouth, if you are in Wells, if you're in places like that, you're probably looking at a mix right now, and that'll continue over the next several hours. Barbie, good afternoon. Snowing in Sydney. Yeah, you guys will probably get some, rain, and I do think that rain will move in during the afternoon. But again, I would just leave the snow, because a lot of this is going to crust. You're going to have snow, and then you're going to have a crust on top. And I do think that will be the case by the time we get to this evening. What else do we have? Very light snow, according to Pamela in Sabattis. Thank you guys all for these reports. I appreciate it. Oh, here we go. Chris, a different report here. I like it. Sleet in Kennebunk. Yes, southern York County looking at sleet right now. I would say the sleet line is up through probably the Biddeford area right now. If you're in, the southern part of Portland, Sanford, you're probably starting to see a transition over. And actually, I can probably pull the graphic up right now if you give me a second. Again, I apologize for the smaller screen. We're going to try and get that fixed. And again, here's the radar. You can see that it's snow for most areas, but the radar's having a tough time with in this area. I'm going to pause this radar. If you are in this area right here. If I just circled your town, I would bet that you're looking at sleet right now. That would be my bet if I just circled your town. Up through South Portland, you're probably maybe looking at a little bit of sleet at the moment. If you're on the north side of Portland, Falmouth, you're probably looking at snow right now. Westbrook, Gorham, still looking at snow. But head down towards the coastline, probably not the case. What else do we have? 25 degrees and Livermore, and it's snowing. A lot of places looking at some snow right now. And James, yes, I think a lot of people could agree with that. I think a lot of people would want a good 9-month vacation from Old Man Winter. You know, I personally love the snow. This time of the year, I also get, kind of excited for the spring, the nice weather. But I also, was kind of excited for this storm, if I'm being totally honest. Greg said he's loving it. He loves the snow. Actually, it looks like his profile picture is snow. So there we go. I like it. Suzanne, on the other hand, these comments right next to each other, it's pretty funny. Don't like it, ready for spring. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are in the same boat there. Light snow in Litchfield. Barbie, thank you for the report. And we have a 7-inch report in West Baldwin, according to Mary. Yes, thank you for that. And yeah, I'm looking at Steve's comment right here. Roads are a mess in Lewiston. I would say a lot of places are looking at that mess right now. And, why don't we go to this? If you guys are just tuning in, I wanted to show you this as well. I know this looks very confusing to most people, but I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to draw a little line right about here. Let's go. Let's do that. That's the line I'm drawing right now. If you are south of this line, you're looking at sleet, you're looking at freezing rain, or you're looking at plain rain. If you're north of the line, you are looking at snow right now. And, Portland's cut in half. And it's cut in half because I would say close to the coastline, you probably have some sleet mixing in. Head up to Westbrook, as I was just mentioning, and you have likely snow at the moment. So that's what it looks like right now. And I'll time this out one more time. And there we go. We'll time this out one more time while I get a look at some more of these comments, and then we're going to head on out of here. I'll be back in a couple hours to give you guys an update. Lori, still snowing in Brownfield, excuse me. And then Shelly, I'm not happy. I was happy the flowers are coming out. Well, the flowers are probably not happy either, if you had to ask me. Okay, Nathan, Falmouth, when does it turn to rain? Well, you can see here, if you are in Falmouth, you guys, it's tricky because you're not actually near the coast. And if you are at the coastline, that's where you're probably changing in the next half hour to hour. Falmouth, on the other hand, in areas just inland, it might not be until 2 o'clock. So I think by 2 o'clock, Nathan, in Falmouth, those areas just away from the coastline, probably looking at sleet and freezing rain. And then it's going to change to a couple hours of just plain rain during the afternoon, late afternoon, early evening, before transitioning back to some freezing rain as we head into tonight. Let's continue this, and you can see 6, 7 o'clock. We are looking at pretty heavy rain in some areas down towards the coast, but if you're in the areas just inland, things could be a lot different. Let's get a look at that, and you can see this pink shading right here indicating where sleet and freezing rain will likely set up. If you're in those areas, you're probably looking at a quarter to maybe 3/10, 4/10 of an inch of ice that will develop as we head through the afternoon and evening. And that's not fun, of course. Tomorrow morning, I don't think the roads will look too nice either because, of course, a lot of this is going to end around midnight. Well, if it ends at midnight, it's dark, so it's not like it's going to really melt through the overnight hours. It will a little bit, but not too much. Lisa, how much in Biddeford? So Biddeford, you guys are already probably transitioning over to some sleet. So what you have right now is probably what you're going to get for snow. I think you transition over to sleet, and then you're going to transition to some freezing rain. Then you're going to transition over to some rain, and then back to freezing rain. And you might get dusting or two on the backside of it. you know, and like everybody has the threat for a dusting to an inch on the backside of this storm as some of this colder air moves in. Diane, the roads are not good right now. I mean, if no matter where you are, if you ask me, the only areas that might not have too bad of roads is if you're in Portsmouth South, which is, you know, not too many people, at least probably watching this video, are south of Portsmouth. Most areas, of course, are in Maine, and the roads are not good in Maine. That is probably the easiest way to put it. We've heard of accidents already reported. You know, it's just a mess out there. So if you can avoid the roads, I would. Lynn, 5 inches in Mercer and still snowing. Yeah, a lot of see, Lisa, I actually just saw this comment. Mix and Biddeford. Yeah, that's actually what I was expecting to see. So we are going to see that continue. Then it will transition over to rain. So you're not going to see much more of accumulation in the Biddeford area. What else do we have? Snowing in Denmark, yes. Thank you, Shelley, for that. Gene, fluffy stuff in Auburn. Move it before it freezes up. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. But again, if you move it too soon, you know, even in Auburn, Lewiston area, you're probably going to get some freezing rain. I mean, can you see right here on the radar that I'm showing you guys that you guys are probably still looking at some freezing rain. So, you know, it's just a tough situation. Do you clean the snow now and then have freezing rain fall on your driveway? That's not a good idea either. So it's just tough. I mean, it depends, I guess, on your situation. But, you know, that's probably my best guess would be just do it tomorrow morning when you have the crust on top of the snow. Then you can clean the snow and your driveway's nice and clear. Brandon, Topsom, 3 inches of fine snow right now. Paula, will Mexico and Rumford area get the mix? I don't think so. I think you guys are all snow. If you have any precipitation besides snow, it would maybe be an hour or maybe 2 of snow and sleet. But I would say Mexico, Rumford, you guys are all snow. You know, especially once you get north of those areas, it's definitely all snow. But, you know, you might get a little bit of sleet mixing in here or there, but that would be about it. Bruce, the Portland Jetport for tonight. It depends on what time you ask me for, because it's going to be the Portland Jetport. You're going to start mixing with sleet very soon if you haven't already. Then you're going to change to freezing rain, and then you're going to change to rain during the afternoon, early evening, and then you're going to change back to freezing rain, maybe some sleet, and then snow. So that's what we're looking at in the Portland Jetport. So what time? You'd have to ask me a time. If you asked me 8 o'clock, I'd probably tell you at 8 o'clock in the Portland Jetport, you're looking at plain rain, transitioning at that point to some freezing rain. So you'd have to keep an eye on the temperature. If you were to ask me at 10 p.m., I would say you're looking at freezing rain and sleet. If you were to ask me at 11 or 12 a.m., I would say some snow. So it just depends on what time you want to ask me for, I guess. It's just going to be a mess. That's the best advice I could give you. What time do you think it will end in the Bangor area? Bangor, I can even play this out for you guys, but I would say Bangor overnight into early Sunday morning. And you can see, like right here, 10 o'clock in the evening, I mean, we're solidly in the pink. And these temperatures are always not perfectly lined up. I think at 10 o'clock, temperature is below the freezing mark, if not at the freezing mark in Portland, and we are looking at a mix. But then here we go, 11, 12 o'clock. Now we transition over to a little bit of snow on the backside of the system. All right, I'll talk to you guys for a little bit longer, then I'm gonna get going, and I'll be back a little later. What else do we have? Flurrying in Cumberland Center. Greg, thank you for that report. Is Portland getting a mix? Yes, they are going to get a mix. North side of Portland right now, probably snow. South side of Portland, probably mixing in with a little bit of sleet already. What else do we have? And then if you guys want to see the... By the way, I do want to mention that the snow map that I'm going to show you in about 2 seconds. I'll show you this first. You can see the ice map. The darker pink is where we are expecting the higher totals with the ice, and then the lighter pinks is if you, another thing I will mention, if you're on the southern side of, like if you're down here where you see the lighter pinks, if you're down in those areas in the lighter pink area, you're probably looking, the reason why you're getting less ice is because you get more plain rain. If you're on the north side up here in the lighter pink, you'll get less ice because you're going to see more snow. So north side on the light ice, you're looking at the fact that you're just going to get more snowfall. If you're right at the coastline, the lighter pinks is because you will see more plain rain during the afternoon. Here's the snow through the day. This is total snowfall accumulation starting from when the first snowflake fell in your area until it wraps up. So this is not additional accumulation. This is total snowfall accumulation. And that runs through the nighttime tonight. And then we are going to see. All right, what else do we have? You're landing at midnight, Bruce. Well, we hope. I really hope so. Midnight, things could be kind of a mess if I'm going to be totally honest. Brandon, when are we changing over to mixed precipitation in the Lewiston, Auburn area? You guys will probably stay snow through 3-4 o'clock, and then I think you get 3-4 hours of sleet and freezing rain. You're probably sleet and freezing rain 4 p.m. through 7-8 o'clock, and then you transition back to some snow. Haley, how are the roads going to be tomorrow? I think the morning is going to be tough, but we'll have to see. I think the afternoon things will clear up. We're going to see some sunshine tomorrow, so that is some good news. And then we are going to eventually see things clear out because, of course, the sun will come up a little bit. I think we are going to see a good amount of clouds as well. And then, one good thing is I don't think we'll see too much in the way of power outages. That's the good news, is the power outages will not be too high, but some areas that get more ice will certainly see some power outages. I'm going to head out. Again, I'll be back probably around 3:30, 4 o'clock. I want to give you guys an afternoon update because right now most people are seeing snow. When I talk to you around 4 o'clock, you're probably not going to be seeing all snow. How about this? I'll come back around 3:30 because I have to, of course, get ready for the shows and stuff tonight. So I'll be back at 3:30. So tune in at 3:30 and we'll have another chat and we will talk about what's going on at that point. And I hope you guys all have a good day. Avoid the roads, of course, if you can, and enjoy your afternoon.